July is the month of rebirth of Bangladesh, not just an apparent change, rather the country must be built anew. Without deep-rooted reform, dictators must return, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. July Charter to be finalized within July 31st by finalizing the initially agreed upon issues, says Dr. Ali Riaz. The trial of most of masterminds of genocide will be completed by December this year. First testimony against Sheikh Hasina on August 3rd, says Chief Prosecutor. BNP will rehabilitate the families of martyrs of July mass uprising if it comes to power, says Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. Maulana Bhashani, a unique political figure not only for Bangladesh but also for the subcontinent. NCP intends to advance Bangladesh by following Bhashani's ideals, says Nahid Islam. The death toll in Gaza in Israel's ongoing attacks since October 2023 exceeds 60,000. 14 more individuals, including children, died of food shortage in 24 hours. And Bangladesh in Group B with China, North Korea and Uzbekistan in AFC Women Asian Cup football. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is Upama Shah with you, welcoming you to the news at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus has said the interim government is working to build a broad national consensus around a renewed political system, one that delivers inclusive, participatory and credible elections. He said this while speaking at an UN event on the July uprising, and fact-finding report was held at Hotel Intercontinental in Dhaka today. The event organized by UN Human Rights Mission in Dhaka marking the July uprising. Professor Yunus said their work is far from finished. He said justice is not only about punishment. Justice is also about ensuring that state power can never again be used to suppress, silence or destroy its own people.
Our work is far from finished. Alongside our reform agenda, we are pursuing legal accountability for those responsible for gross violations. But justice is not only about punishment. Justice is also about ensuring that the state power can never again be used to suppress, silence, or destroy its own people. We are working to build a broad national consensus around a renewed political system. These are not just words. These are something to be embedded in our heart. One that delivers inclusive, participatory and credible elections. The goal is clear: to establish a society where all Bangladeshis can live in peace, with freedom, with dignity, and with pride. We remember those who gave their lives in pursuit of that vision. Their sacrifice paved the way for a new chapter in our history. They created a new Bangladesh. That's their dream. This is rooted in hope, human rights, and democratic principles. On behalf of the people of Bangladesh, I thank the United Nations for standing with us in our darkest hour. And I look forward to the continued partnership as we move forward.
Relatives of the martyrs in the July mass uprising, National Citizen Party Member Secretary Akhtar Hussain, Jamaati Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir spoke at the event. A video message from UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk was played at the event. A Hong Kong-based textile and apparel chain, Handa Industries Co., has announced it will invest $250 million in Bangladesh. Handa Industries Limited Chairman Han Chun announced the plan while meeting Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus at the State Guest House Jamuna today. Handa had initially planned to invest $150 million in Bangladesh's textile sector and signed a memorandum of understanding with Bangladesh authorities during the Bangladesh Investment Summit in April 2025. Following further assessments and with strong support from Bangladesh authorities, Handa has since increased its investment plan to approximately $250 million. The company has now decided to set up 3 factories in Bangladesh, 2 garment processing and 1 knitting and dyeing unit, which are expected to create 25,000 jobs. Han Chun presented the chief advisor a design of their factory that they are going to set up in the Mirsharai economic zone. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus welcomed the investment plan of Handa Industries Limited. The chief advisor urged Handa Industries Limited to train up Bangladeshi designers to enable them to learn the taste of buyers. BIDA Executive Chairman Chaudhry Ashik Mahmood bin Harun, Principal Secretary Mohammad Sirajuddin Mia, Chief Coordinator for SDG Lamia Morshed and Handa Industries Limited President Heng Zeli were present at the meeting. The majority of political parties have agreed on caretaker government system, strengthening ombudsman and increasing women representation in the parliament to 100. Vice Chairman of National Consensus Commission Professor Ali Riaz informed these at a briefing after the 21st day's discussion of second phase between the National Consensus Commission and political parties at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital today. Professor Ali Riaz said the Commission is working to finalize all the issues on which consensus has been reached through long and continuous talks with political parties. He said each political party has its own statement and the Commission is trying to move forward by accepting their proposals considering the statements. Professor Ali Riaz said the Commission must reach a final stage of the July Charter in any way within July 31st. He expressed gratitude to the representatives of the political parties for their sincere efforts. In today's meeting, caretaker government system, women representation, and the appointment of the Controller and Auditor General and the Ombudsman were discussed. Besides, leaders of different political parties, including BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami, NCP, AB Party, Biplobi Workers Party, and Gano Odhikar Porishad, briefed the journalists. Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam has said that the trials of most top-level individuals involved in the genocide will be completed by December this year. He made this remark today while speaking at a discussion at the Judicial Administration Training Institute in the capital. Tajul Islam said that mobile courts and genocide trials are not the same thing. As a result, these trials are being conducted thoroughly and with due time. He emphasized that the proceedings are being carried out in such a way that no future government or the international community can raise questions about the trials. The chief prosecutor also informed that the first witness testimony in the case against Sheikh Hasina will be held on 3rd of August. At the function, Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul said the brutality carried out by the Awami League government during the July 2024 mass uprising surpassed even the atrocities committed by the Pakistani occupation forces in 1971. Asif Nazrul said the government is determined to ensure justice and preserve irrefutable evidence so that future governments cannot delay the trial process. International Crimes Tribunal 2 has adjourned the hearing on the charge framing in the murder case of Shohid Abu Said, the first martyr of the July-August mass uprising, until Wednesday, following arguments presented by the defense lawyers. The three-member tribunal, headed by its chairman, Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry, passed the order today. Two other members of the tribunal are Justice Muhammad Manzoorul Bashid and Justice Nur Muhammad Shahriar Kabir. Out of the 30 accused in the case, 24 are absconding, while the remaining 6 are in custody. During today's hearing, lawyers for 3 of the 6 detained accused took part and presented their arguments on behalf of their clients. In yesterday's hearing, Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Tajul Islam presented the background of the Abu Said murder incident before the tribunal. Later, during a briefing with journalists, the prosecutor stated that the defense lawyers would continue their arguments tomorrow. Earlier in the morning, the 6 detained accused were produced before the tribunal. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has said that if the BNP comes to power, initiatives will be taken to rehabilitate the families of martyrs. He made this statement today at an BNP-declared event titled Children in the Democratic March, jointly organized by Amra BNP Poribar and Mayer Dak in Bonani, Dhaka, marking the first anniversary of the July-August mass uprising. The event was presided over by Amra BNP Poribar convener Atikur Rahman Rimon. Family members of the disappeared, martyrs and injured from the July 24 uprising and the movement to restore democracy also spoke at the program. The BNP Secretary General urged party leaders and activists to work more sincerely to ensure a better future for children. National Citizen Party NCP convener Nahid Islam has said great political figures like Shere Bangla A.K. Fazlul Haq and Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani are the architects of Bangladesh. The NCP leader was addressing a July rally at Nirala intersection in Tangal today following the July street march in the district town. The NCP convener said that they also voiced opposition against how India claimed geographical indication rights over Tangal's traditional handloom saris. Chief Coordinator of NCP Nasiruddin Patwari conducted the rally. NCP Chief Organizer of the Northern Region Sarjis Alam said after 2024, members of police and other forces will be Bangladesh's own. They will not work for any particular group. Extortion still exists in many parts of the country. Extortionists have only one identity. They are extortionists, he added. The rally was also addressed by NCP organizer for the Northern Region Azad Khan Bhashani and Chief Coordinator for NCP Tangal Masudur Rahman Russell. NCP Chief Organizer for the Southern Region Hasnat Abdullah, Senior Joint Convener Samantha Sharmin, Senior Joint Member Secretary Dr. Taslim Zara, Senior Member Secretary Sarwar Nibha and Dr. Tajnuva were present. Earlier in the morning, Nahid Islam paid courtesy visits to the families of the martyrs and injured victims of the July uprising in Tangail. District NCP leaders were present during the visit. The long-awaited Dhaka University Central Students' Union (DAKSU) elections are set to take place on September 9. Chief Returning Officer Professor Joshimuddin announced the election schedule at a press briefing held at the conference room of the university's Senate building today. According to the election schedule, the draft voter list will be published on July 30th. Complaints regarding the draft list will be accepted until August 6th. The final voter list will be published on August 11th at 4 p.m. Nomination papers will be distributed from August 12 to August 18 and the deadline for submission of the nomination papers is August 19. Professor Shamim Reza conducted the press conference while other returning officers of the DAKSU Election Commission were present. Now international news. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 60,034 people. Gaza's health ministry said the war wounded 1,45,870 people. Medical sources said Israeli forces killed at least 62 people across Gaza since dawn on Tuesday, including 19 aid seekers. An UN-backed monitor, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, has warned that the worst-case scenario of famine is now unfolding in Gaza as Israel continues to severely restrict an entering territory. Famine thresholds have been reached for food consumption in most of Gaza Strip and for acute malnutrition in Gaza City. The alert from the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification warns. Israeli human rights groups BTV and Physicians for Human Rights release reports saying Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. The government media office in Gaza accused Israel of engineering starvation through systematic disorder in Gaza. Doctors Without Borders has condemned the use of airdrops to deliver aid to Gaza, calling the approach futile and cynical amid the worsening humanitarian crisis. US President Donald Trump and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer discussed the appalling scenes in Gaza and agreed that urgent action is needed to end the humanitarian disaster. Sir Keir Starmer will this week unveil his plan for formally recognizing Palestine as a state in an attempt to quell pressure from within the Labour Party. Meanwhile, world leaders discussed a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict on the first day of a conference in New York, but Israel and the US boycotted the event. A gunman wielding an assault-style rifle has stormed a skyscraper in the heart of New York, killing 4 people before shooting himself dead. The attacker, 27-year-old Shane Tamura of Las Vegas, walked into an office block of Manhattan's Park Avenue on Monday evening and opened fire in the lobby before taking a lift to the 33rd floor to continue his spree. 4 people were killed, including New York City police officer Didarul Islam, 36, who was working security at the time. The 3 other victims have yet to be identified. The gunman appears to have driven across the US from Las Vegas. Police say he was known to have mental health issues and they are searching for a motive. The shooting sent pedestrians running for a cover as police warned of an active gunman around 22:30 GMT. Those inside the building cowered as gunfire echoed, some even piling couches and chairs against doors as they hid in offices. The skyscraper is home to the National Football League, NFL, as well as financial giants like Blackstone and KPMG and other major firms. New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said the suspect appeared to have acted alone. She told a press conference that a 5th victim was shot and was in critical but stable condition. The slain police officer, Didarul Islam, a Bangladeshi immigrant and father of 2 with a 3rd child on the way, had served in the New York Police Department for 3.5 years. Local officials and authorities celebrated Islam, saying he died a hero. President Trump said on Monday that he was disappointed with President Vladimir Putin of Russia over the war in Ukraine and said he would give Moscow 10 to 12 days to end the conflict or face a new round of sanctions. Mr. Trump had warned the Kremlin earlier this month that the United States would impose very severe tariffs if Russia did not agree to a peace deal within 50 days. But on Monday he said he would bring that deadline forward. Mr. Trump told reporters in Scotland during a meeting with Prime Minister Keir Starmer of Britain he is going to make a new deadline of about 10 or 12 days from today. There's no reason in waiting. If the Kremlin does not comply, it would be sanctions and maybe tariffs, secondary tariffs, he said, adding that he did not want to do that to the Russian people. Mr. Trump has repeatedly threatened to punish Russia over its escalating attacks in Ukraine, but so far has not followed through. At least 30 people have died in Beijing as northern China experiences days of heavy rains and flooding. Authorities in China's capital have relocated 80,000 people as more rain is forecast for Tuesday. President Xi Jinping has ordered all-out search and rescue efforts to prevent more casualties. Some 130 villages have lost electricity and dozens of roads have been cut off due to rain and flood. Beijing is no stranger to extreme wet weather, especially at this time of the year. Flooding in July 2012 killed 79 people, the most devastating toll so far. Thailand has accused Cambodia of deliberately violating a ceasefire the two countries had agreed on Monday to end border clashes that have killed at least 33 people and displaced thousands. It's a shaky start for the ceasefire, which was meant to bring an end to 5 days of bombardment and rocket attacks along their shared border. The Thai military says it stopped firing after midnight, but that it continued to receive gunfire from the Cambodian side at multiple locations up until this morning. But Cambodia's defense ministry told the AFP news agency that there had been no armed clashes between the two sides since the ceasefire began at midnight. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mahbuba Farzana said that people must be vocal so that the families of the martyrs of the July uprising get justice. She said this at a discussion and prayer meeting organized by Press Information Department PID on the occasion of the first anniversary of the mass uprising at PID conference room at the Bangladesh Secretariat today. Recalling the July uprising martyrs with respect, the secretary said the sufferings of the martyrs' families and the injured in the uprising should be highlighted. She said in this regard, the officials of the information service should play a leading role. Regarding the prevalence of rumors and misinformation, Information Secretary said preventing rumors and misinformation is a big challenge of the present time. She called upon the officials of the information service to work more efficiently in preventing rumors and misinformation. Principal Information Officer Mohammad Nizamul Kabir chaired the discussion, while Information and Broadcasting Ministry's Additional Secretary Mohammad Kausar Ahmed also spoke. Later, prayers were offered for eternal peace of the departed souls of the martyrs and the recovery of the injured. Officers and employees of the PID were present at the discussion and prayers. Now, weather. Due to active monsoon, steep pressure gradient lies over North Bay of Bengal. Met Office said under its influence, gusty or squally weather may affect the maritime ports, North Bay and adjoining coastal areas of Bangladesh. Maritime ports of Chattogram, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Paira have been advised to hoist local cautionary signal number 3. I repeat, local cautionary signal number 3. All fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay have been advised to come close to the coast and proceed with caution till further notice. Meanwhile, Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at most places over Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions and at many places over Rangpur, Rajshahi, Dhaka and Mymensingh divisions. Besides, moderately heavy to heavy falls is likely to occur at places over Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country. Today, country's highest temperature was recorded 35.5 degrees Celsius in Norshingdi and capital Dhaka's highest temperature was 32.3 degrees Celsius. Now, news on sports. Bangladesh women's national team will start their AFC Women's Asian Cup 2026 campaign against defending champions China on March 3rd at Sydney, Australia. The draw of AFC Women's Asian Cup 2026 was held today at Sydney's historical town Hall Park. Bangladesh was placed in Group B along with China, North Korea and Uzbekistan. Bangladesh's second match will be against North Korea on March champion. Bangladesh's last match will be against Uzbekistan. The match will be held in Perth on March 9th. A total of 12 teams will play in the tournament, split into 3 groups. Group A includes Australia, South Korea, Iran and the Philippines. Group B includes North Korea, China, Bangladesh and Uzbekistan. Group C consists of Japan, Vietnam, India, Chinese Taipei. Bangladesh is playing in final round of the AFC Women's Asian Cup for the first time. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. July is the month of rebirth of Bangladesh, not just an apparent change, rather the country must be built anew. Without deep-rooted reform, dictators may return, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. July Charter to be finalized within July 31st by finalizing the initially agreed upon issues, says Dr. Ali Riaz. The trial of most of masterminds of genocide will be completed by December this year. First testimony against Sheikh Hasina on August 3rd, says Chief Prosecutor. BNP will rehabilitate the families of martyrs of July mass uprising if it comes to power, says Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. Maulana Bhashani, a unique political figure not only for Bangladesh but also for the subcontinent. NCP intends to advance Bangladesh by following Bhashani's ideals, says Nahid Islam. Exceeds 60,000. 14 more individuals, including children, died of food shortage in 24 hours. And Bangladesh in Group B with China, North Korea and Uzbekistan in AFC Women Asian Cup football. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we also invite you to watch our 11 p.m.